All right, so the race for our self-driving feature, it just got a whole lot more interesting. Today, we're going to break down Nvidia's huge, and I mean huge bet on autonomous vehicles. And trust me, this is a move that could shake up the entire auto industry as we know it. Okay, so to really get this, you have to hear what Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang, said. He called it the ChatGPT moment of self-driving cars. Now think about that. He's not just talking about a small step forward, no. He's saying the change in what our cars can do is going to be just as massive and sudden as when we went from those clunky old chatbots to something like ChatGPT. It's a total paradigm shift. And look, this wasn't just some marketing slogan. At their big annual conference, Nvidia really put its money where its mouth is. They announced this massive expansion of their whole self-driving business. And that's when the rest of the industry really sat up and paid attention.
So you might be asking, who are they even partnering with? And this is where it gets really interesting. We're not talking about some tiny startups here. We're talking about global giants. You've got Hyundai, you've got Nissan. And then they've roped in huge players from China's electric vehicle market, which is the biggest in the world. We're talking BYD and Geely. See, Nvidia isn't just cooking up tech in a lab. They're building this powerful global team to actually get this stuff into the cars we'll be driving.
Okay, so what is a ChatGPT moment for a car, really? What does that even mean? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the actual tech that's making all this noise.
Well, at the core of all of this is something called the Drive Hyperion platform. Now, don't think of this as just another computer chip. No way. It's basically the car's entire brain and central nervous system all rolled into one. It's the whole shebang, from the giant data centers where the AI learns to drive, to the super realistic simulations where it gets tested, right down to the powerful computer sitting inside the car making those critical split-second decisions on the road.
And let's be clear, the goal here isn't just to make a slightly better cruise control, not even close. The real prize is what's called Level 4 autonomy. And this is the key to everything. A Level 4 car, it actually drives itself, like for real, no human needed. The only catch is it works within a specific, predefined area. Think of it like a city's downtown area.
So this really shows you the huge jump we're talking about. Most of us, if we have a newer car, have experienced Level 2. That's driver assist. It helps you out, but you have to keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. You're still the driver. Level 4? That's a completely different beast. That's a true Robotaxi. That's you, in the back seat, catching up on emails, reading a book, whatever, trusting the car to get you where you need to go, as long as you're in its zone.
But here's the thing. Getting from Level 2 to Level 4, it's not a small step. It's a monumental leap. It is, without a doubt, one of the toughest engineering problems on the planet. And it's a super high-stakes game. The rewards are massive if you win, but the risks, well, the risks are just catastrophic if you mess it up.
Okay, so this slide basically maps out the battlefield. You've got the key players right here. In one corner, there's Waymo. That's Alphabet's or Google's company. For a long time, they've been the undisputed leader, the ones with actual robotaxis on the streets. Then you've got Nvidia, playing a different game. They're not trying to build a car. They're trying to be the arms dealer, providing the brains for everyone else's cars. And then, oh boy, then you have Cruise, the ultimate cautionary tale.
And the story of Cruise, man, it's a perfect example of just how brutal this race is. General Motors spent more than $10 billion. Let that sink in. $10 billion on its Cruise division, trying to take on Waymo directly. And for a hot minute, it really looked like they might pull it off. They were seen as a top contender.
But then it all just fell apart. After a string of really concerning safety problems, there was this awful incident where a pedestrian was dragged by one of the cars. And that was it. The whole thing got shut down. We're not just talking about losing a ton of money here. This was a massive hit to public trust for the entire self-driving industry.
So that brings up a pretty big question, right? You see this $10 billion flameout with Cruise. So why on earth would Nvidia, a company that's already crushing it in the AI chip world, dive headfirst into this super risky automotive game?
Well, the answer boils down to one word: growth. I mean, Nvidia became this incredibly valuable company by basically being the engine for the entire AI revolution. But you can't rest on your laurels. To keep that kind of momentum going, you need to find the next big wave. And for them, self-driving cars aren't just some fun side project. They see it as absolutely critical to their future.
And this chart here really drives that point home. Just look at it. Sure, their main AI business is still the big kahuna, 65%. But look at that other slice.
A full 25%, a whole quarter of their focus, is now on autonomous vehicles. That's huge. It tells you they're betting that the next great computing revolution isn't going to be locked away in a data center. It's going to be inside every single car driving on our roads.
So what's the takeaway from all this? Here's the bottom line. NVIDIA is taking everything it's learned from dominating AI and is trying to become the go-to provider, the foundation for the future of the car industry. They're arming this big team of automakers for a massive, high-stakes fight to basically own the operating system of the car of the future. It's a huge gamble, for sure, but it's a gamble they feel they have to make.
And so that leaves us with this massive question hanging in the air. You've got Waymo, already out there on the streets doing its thing. And now you have Nvidia, basically giving superpowers to some of the biggest car companies in the world. The race for the future of how we get around is officially on. The only question is, who's going to win?